pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff, even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Little roller up along first. Behind the fence. It's no Buckner. Here comes Knight in the mix winning.
See you in Pittsburgh.
Can't wait. All the band is out of the field. He's going to go into the end zone. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.
You're tuned into Game On with Josh Silverberg and Erik Bowe. Talking all things sports. It's
Game on!
Yeah, game on.
Game On right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Happy Thursday to all of you listening and watching us live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Joining you every single Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live here on WWSRN. You can check us out on Worldwide Sports Radio, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok for Jabba in the Mouth, all that and so much more. This is Game On. Of course, I'm your host, Josh Silverberg, on the board, Speedy Petey, my co-host, Mr. Erik Bowe. How are you doing, sir?
You know what? It's not about me today. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not about me at all today. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me give a nice, warm, happy birthday wish to you, Mr. Silverberg.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And also, Speedy wished me a happy birthday, too,
Yes,
right? When I
happy
walked
birthday.
in,
I'll give you an on-air happy birthday.
That is a very nice thing to do.
hold on.
You know, that is a very nice thing to do because
Hold
I
on.
I wish there were some that did remember, but we'll leave it.
Whoa. Are we going down that rabbit hole?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You
I
know.
should have called you earlier. I know. You know, my significant other called you at like really early in the morning. I didn't call you or text you. I know.
You know what I mean?
Same.
You know what I mean? But wanted to give another quick shout out. Massive news did happen. Yes, my birthday, of course, big deal. A very close friend of mine. He has been on the show before. Not on the show, but was on the show a couple years ago. Speedy remembers. Rick Franchella and his wife Laura. They've had the very tough road of having the unfortunate news of two stillbirths going on in their lives and everything like that did happen. And obviously coming back from that is a very difficult situation and everything of that nature. It's really tough to, embrace, to take that all in, because something like that, it's a very difficult thing. And the amazing news that we got today is that Rick and Laura, they had a surrogate who gave birth to a beautiful baby girl today. So Rick and Laura are now parents for the first time. It has been a very long road for them in general. So God bless them, to their family, to their loved ones, to everything. And I wish them, of course, nothing but the best. I've been keeping in touch with him all week about everything that's going on. So I'm so happy for him, for Laura. They deserve the happiness. They deserve to experience being parents. Erik, you know this. I mean, and everything like that. I'm the father of two. It's, like I said, it's a joy. Obviously, it's got ups and downs, but it has its joys. And when that happens, for Rick and Laura, it's a wonderful thing. But yes, and to get to share the birthday day as well, which is fantastic as well. But nevertheless, we have a lot to get to. It's gonna be a lot of info draft conversation.
Why?
And that's the end of the conversation because there's not much going on.
Is that tonight? Is that a thing? It happens?
Let me tell you, first
We're
off,
finally here?
this starts at what time? It starts at 8:00, right?
Yep.
Speedy, 8:00. The moment the clock hits 8:00, I want the Tennessee Titans on the clock, and that clock move. You don't need 10 minutes to decide what's going on. And I know some people can say it's for TV purposes. They need ads. They need time to talk.
It's the last 10 minutes to decide, do we trade the number 1 pick, or are we sure he's our guy? Are you sure he's our guy?
No.
Value?
We know Cam Ward is 1. We know this. I think the draft is really starting. I think it's going to go Ward 1, Hunter 2, Carter 3. And that's what I think it is. And I think that's when the draft is going to start. And then I think at 4, I don't think people are going to. I don't think people are going to want to trade the Hall to get up to go. You know what I mean?
The Bears. You don't think the Bears are going to try to trade up to maybe get a Will Campbell?
No, the Bears would have to want to get Genty. That's what I would think they would probably want to do.
I mean, trade up to get Genty because
everything that I'm hearing Jacksonville's going to take him now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They'll ruin him. They'll mess him.
Jacksonville could sneaky at number 5 there and pick up Genty.
Well, that's what I said. They're probably gonna be from everything that I've read from everything I've read today. It's Ward 1, Hunter 2, Carter 3. I know, Speedy, you have your show after, so you'll chime in about that after. But if I maybe miss something or Erik missed something, let me know. I would say Campbell's gonna go 4 to the Patriots, right? The only other shocking thing I've heard is possibly McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona, possibly. And 5, I've heard Janty to the Jaguars. And then the Raiders, when it gets interesting, do the Raiders go Mason Graham? Do they steal Membu from the Jets and put him at the offensive line? I think that the Jets are pretty basic. The Jets are either going to get Membu or they're going to get Warren from Penn State, which are either pick is a fine pick. I'm fine with either one of those 2 picks.
You know who I'm watching for tonight? Because I think if there's a splash, a big splash, you know who I think could be involved?
Shedeur Saunders.
I think Dallas.
Oh, so you think Dallas could try to trade up for Jake?
I think Dallas makes a move tonight. Don't know what kind of move it is, but there was an interview with Jerry Jones saying we're working on stuff. Kind of significant. I can't give too many details, obviously. So I'm curious to see if that involves trading higher in the draft and taking maybe a Sanders. Does it?
No, they're not taking the Sanders. They're not taking Shedeur.
Does it mean
they would get Jinty?
Does it mean they're trading up and trying to get Jinty, like you said? Does it mean they're trying to trade up and get a big piece that they think? Or is it someone who are they trading their pick to someone for a bigger name guy?
Well, Arrow and I actually have a bet going. We actually have a bet going right now. I think it's top 11 or top 12 he's got to go. That Ty Warren's got to go in the top 12. And whoever loses, so if he goes in the top 12, we do a meal.
You handshake, and you in the handshake.
No. We do dinner, man.
Dinner.
That's what it is. So I said Ward's gonna go in the top 12.
Cam Ward.
No, Tyler. The tight end.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think he's going to the Jets. Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Ty Ward, yeah. I can see
that.
that.
Yeah. And you know what? Wouldn't that be right on the nose? And I said it. Bang. Goes to the
number
Jets.
7.
My dinner. We're going to Pacers. Let's go.
That's number 7. Josh, take me through. What do you think?
The steakhouse that's around here? I forget that.
Anything wild you think happening tonight? in the first round?
What?
You think anything wild in the first round happens?
No. I think this is honestly, this is a draft that I think people are really gonna wanna. They're gonna want to stay away from. You know what I mean?
I'm saying, you don't think trades to trade out, to trade back?
I mean, maybe to trade back, but I don't think it's gonna be anything crazy or anything out of the. You know what I mean? Like that's. Oh, that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna go to Insignia. That's where we're.
But also, too, now, isn't it great timing that all of the teams and all the talk for Jinty, and all of a sudden it's one of those, hey, Jacksonville, I'm at 5. Yeah, we like Jinty too. I think we're going to take him. You don't think that's some leverage to help them out, figure out what's what? I'm curious with that. I think that could be something great.
I think the one team that could really trade up, I think that could trade a good amount is Chicago and get Jinty in the top 5. But now that also means that they have to Jacksonville, because remember, now they have an offensive-minded coach.
Right.
You're trying to take the load off of Lawrence. That Jacksonville's probably going to want to take Jinty as well. So everybody likes it.
I guess basically, do you trust Travis Etienne?
Oh, if they get Jinty, they're trading Etienne. They could trade Etienne for like a 3rd or 4th. Speaking, what would Etienne's value be? Like a 4th round pick, maybe?
I would say so.
Yeah, he's so injury prone.
He had a bad year last
year. Think about it. If you're Dallas, do you not jump all over that? If Etienne comes available?
Of course, but if I'm Dallas, I try to get Jinty. It's just not going to be able.
You miss on Jinty, you pick up Etienne, no?
Yeah, well,
that's interesting too.
I mean, the interesting thing too is that we're talking about Warren constantly, but the other talk that's been about is the Michigan tight end. I can't remember his name.
Colston Loveland.
Which they don't know which one's the better one of the two. I think Warren's the better one.
Yeah.
But because the thing about Warren is he's a much better yards after the catch guy. Like when he gets the ball, he's gone. It's kind of, you're gonna say, if you're gonna say Brock Bowers ish, I would say they're probably pretty freaking close. They're probably close.
Well,
I mean,
you had talks of the Jets taking Brock Bowers last year too, no?
I wanted the Jets to take Brock Bowers last year, and I was fine with them taking Olu too. I was fine with either one of them. I didn't expect them to take Olu. That wasn't even a rumor. They were taking Fashanu. Like that wasn't even a thought.
There's gonna be a couple of those tonight.
Everybody was assuming they were gonna either take Bowers or they were gonna take. Oh God, who was the wide receiver that was the kid that went to Jacksonville?
Thomas.
Yeah, they were talking about Brian Thomas possibly. Which
what could have been if they did?
No, because Fashanu still had a very good season. Yeah, and let's call it like it is. The foundation is at the line.
Of course,
that's just what it is. The Jets, if they draft like Membu, you'd have to say they probably have arguably one of the youngest offensive lines in football with Fashanu, Simpson, Tippmann, Vera Tucker, and Membu. I don't think anybody's over the age of 25 on that offensive line.
See, I think you just unlocked Chicago right there, right? If they're unable to trade up to get Jinty, they go line.
No,
right?
I think no. Mm-hmm. I think they're the ones that get Warren.
Really?
I think they get the tight end. I think they're gonna want to give Caleb Williams as many weapons as he possibly could to be successful, and Ben Johnson's gonna treat Tyler Warren like Salaporta. That's how he's gonna do it.
You're gonna also want to protect Caleb Williams, no?
Warren could block though.
That was the biggest issue, right?
Warren could also block though. I think Warren's actually come out as a better blocker grade than Bowers did. So,
but
I mean, I think the Jets are going to either take Membo or Warren. I think they're going to lean Warren. From everything that I've read, they love the kid. They've had him in for multiple interviews. They've had him in for dinner already in New York. That's the route that they go. But the Giants will get another stud pass rusher, and they will trade Thibodeau probably, and they'll draft Carter, and they'll put him with Dexter Lawrence, and it'll be good. You just got to fix the offense.
Now, think about it. From a Giants perspective, does Jinty help move the needle with them? Like let's think about the top offensive guys, right?
You have something you want to say? You see what you did?
Probably
No.
not. Tyrone Tracy with a terrible line was 1,000
I would
yards.
say it's the only way. Well, here's the thing. Once Carter, if the Giants were to trade at 3, Carter's then going to the Patriots then. Probably.
Right.
That's probably where he's going.
But
He's
that's
not
what I'm saying.
5.
So do the Giants try to go, hey, you know what? But then that takes me down a different, right? Like, then why do you not sign Saquon? If you're taking, I don't know.
Well, Speedy, you're wearing a Giant.
That's what I'm
Who
saying.
knows what the Giants are doing?
I
Wait,
think it's hard.
Wait, hold on. Do we try? It's just been a big question that's been thrown out all day. What is Joe Shane's son's name? What's his name?
Oh, his son?
Yeah, what was his name again? It was what who wanted Jaden Daniels?
The smart one.
Was it Colton?
Carson.
Carson. Do we trust Carson Shane or do we trust Brick Johnson?
Oh, God.
Which one?
Carson at the moment, right?
I don't trust anybody with the last name Johnson.
But that's what I'm trying to look at with the Giants, right?
Let that sink in your head for a second, Eric. I don't trust anybody with the name Johnson. Johnson. Thank you. Speedy doesn't get it. No.
Hey, who owns the Jets, Speedy?
First brick.
No.
Speedy, who owns the Jets?
Mikhail Bridges. Mikhail Bridges.
So that's, I think it makes the most sense for the Giants to take Carter at 3, right? It doesn't
My son?
really
No,
make sense
man,
for
he's
them.
already building.
Doesn't make sense for them to really take Gene T. Doesn't really make sense for them. I mean, I can see if they take Gene T. Doesn't make sense for them to take any of the quarterbacks with
The
the
only
quarterback.
way
Game.
this can flip is if the Browns take Carter.
If they do,
And then it's, do the Giants then want to go the route of Hunter? And then can I ask the question of, do you trust Dable and Shane to help build which way Hunter should be? Because I know Hunter wants to be the two-way player. Dude, football's so different than baseball. It's not even close. He can, and everybody's then now saying he should be at the wide receiver position, not even the corner position, because he's too small, right? Because he's what, 6'1"?
Yeah.
He's small. But my thought is, but what makes Travis Hunter special? Is Travis Hunter really the number 1 receiver in this draft? I mean, I don't trust McMillan from Arizona because the guy doesn't even like watching game film. That bothers me right away because then I'm just like, okay, so this kid clearly has no thought process in regards to what it is football's about, which is you need to watch whatever you do on the field, and you did what he said Andrew because I hate watching game film.
Mm-hmm.
So your heart's not in it then.
So you know what?
That's the route.
Interesting point, Josh. Giants say the Browns take Carter. If you're the Giants, do you take Will Campbell? Do you take Ty Warren? Do you take Gene T? Like,
Giants?
you go that way.
No, Ty Warren is not even an option for the Giants. Okay.
Do you go best offensive lineman?
What he's thinking too is we're trying to expand the room of can there be a surprise for the Giants? The Giants are choosing between 2 guys. It's probably going to be 1 guy actually, because one of them is not going to be there. And it's going to be Carter or Hunter. It's whoever doesn't get picked at 2 is going to go to the Giants at 3.
You really you think the Giants would be interested in Hunter?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if I could see that. I don't see how he fits.
Speedy, do you think the Giants would take Hunter?
It doesn't seem like their type of move, but you never know.
So then who would they take then if Carter's not
They would bring it
there?
back.
That's what I'm saying. They could shift gears to Gene,
What if there's nobody there to trade up?
or they go lineman. I think they go either lineman, they go Gene T. Like they could take Will Campbell, right?
But here's the thing, I don't even know if Campbell's even the best lineman in this draft.
All right, Armand Nimbu.
No, everybody is putting Campbell at 4. But
What about Nimbu?
Are you worried about his arm length? And all
Armand
that,
Nimbu,
like his
tackle from Missouri,
no, he's going to the Jets. If they don't take him and Warren.
right?
Actually, you know what's going to screw?
They throw
Actually,
Ty Warren.
you know what's going to happen? I know what's going to happen. It's going to tick me off tonight. It's going to. Yankees going to go to the Jaguars, and then Membo's going to go to the Raiders. And then the Jets are just by default going to have to take Warren. Like, by default. Like, because you're not going to take Banks. That's such a reach then.
What would you do if the Jets took Hunter?
I'd be ecstatic. Are you kidding me? If Travis Hunter falls to the Jets at 7, there's a problem. That also is my concern. if Travis Hunter's going at 7, there's a problem. There's a big problem then.
He should be going to the Browns, though. I think it makes most sense for him to go to the Browns.
My biggest question is, where do we think Shedeur, if he even gets picked tonight?
Wait. Oh. All right, so question. Does Sanders get picked round 1?
It's hard to say. I got to tell you something. I keep seeing these Jackson Dart values going up. I don't think Shedeur's going past Pittsburgh at 21. I think
No, you don't think they go Jalen Milroe?
No, I think Pittsburgh. No, look at Speedy likes this. Look at Speedy's excited over there.
I'm struggling at Jalen Milroe.
Who's the Louisville quarterback too? Who's that kid?
Tyler
He's
Shuck.
good. I heard he might be the second best quarterback in this class.
So wait, Speedy said who?
Tyler Shuck.
No, I was saying he's getting hype.
Shuck is getting a lot of hype.
late-
Who's Milroe?
Late hype, but neither of them are going the first round.
I think Dart could.
Dart could, but not the others.
That's. I mean, listen.
Wait. Speedy, I know you have your show next. Josh, same question. Do you think who gets drafted higher, Milroe or Sanders?
Oh, Shedeur. Shedeur doesn't get past 21. If he gets past 21 with the Pittsburgh Steelers,
You don't think
I think the next best option would be if the Raiders in the second round, or the Raiders trade back in the first round to draft them.
you don't think Pittsburgh could say instead of Sanders, Milroe? I think Milroe has a chance to go to Pittsburgh.
Oh, stop it, Speedy. Oh, come on.
What's Speedy saying?
Oh, stop. He thinks Jerry Jones would be salivating. Oh, stop.
You know what? That's fair. That could be one of the big moves that they're looking for tonight.
Who would the Browns trade up for him? Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? The Browns? What?
Shedeur.
Oh, Shedeur?
If they take Hunter,
Oh, God.
I think it's
Oh, God. They want both of them there?
Ooh, I can see that. The chemistry already, right?
I need a beverage. Hold on a minute.
Ooh, that's interesting. Browns trade back. Maybe trade with.
I think your trade proposals are as good as Mikael Bridges' 3-point shot.
Hey, we've seen wilder trades happen on draft day.
My thing
wildest trades happen on draft day.
Or if he's not getting past Pittsburgh at 21. There's no way.
So if you're Cleveland, are you gonna?
And I want to know, like, do the Raiders try to trade back in the first round to get him? Does Speedy make the point? Does Cleveland seriously consider this? Is this, because they would have just drafted Hunter? Does Cleveland really consider doing this whole tandem? And then does Dion come in next year and coach the Browns?
But think about it. If you're the Browns,
Speedy's laughing. If those two are there together, it's not crazy. It's not, is it?
and then you just stop
Crazy.
You just stop your division rival from drafting who they think could be their franchise quarterback.
But would it also be a little bit alarming that your division rival, who has absolutely no quarterback on their roster, still didn't pick him?
No, because if the Browns trade up for them, if the Browns
it wouldn't be that much. The Browns would have to give up a fortune to trade that high to get ahead of Pittsburgh at 21. They would.
So then you're gonna worry that Pittsburgh takes him? You're gonna try to stop that before it happens.
I think those are going to take him.
You think Pittsburgh's gonna take him?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
And if they don't, then it's.
If you took Hunter and if your game plan is to draft Hunter and then trade up and trade for Sanders, obviously you have to do it before 21, before Pittsburgh.
I can say one thing, no, but can we all just think about this for a second? Colorado wasn't even that good this year, right? Can we all just?
Was Hunter a Heisman winner?
Trust me, he's not the problem.
Was Sanders a Heisman finalist?
He's not the Hunter's not the problem.
So, that's what I'm saying. So you're telling me did
Sanders was the problem?
Did Colorado have a good defense?
Sanders was the problem.
Did Colorado have a good defense?
No, but Sanders didn't help his
Okay.
call.
Okay.
But doesn't Dion also coach defense because he's a defensive player?
Did he have the team?
He's one that talks a lot of crap. I'm asking him.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't say Colorado was
They
terrible
got all
because
these kids getting
of
their numbers
Hunter
higher.
and Sanders. You can't say Colorado was terrible because of Hunter and Sanders.
No. I didn't say Hunter. Hunter's not the problem.
You're saying Sanders.
Oh, Sanders was one of the main culprits. Sanders was one of the main culprits.
One of, but there was many on that
But
team.
he was one of the main culprits in the problem. I mean, I think it's a disgrace that we're having these two guys get Hunter because he won a Heisman, fine. But really, what did Shador even accomplish at Colorado? Why is his number retired? Why, so he could kiss up to Dion? What did he accomplish? Anything? Was he even top 5 Heisman? No.
He was a finalist.
He doesn't know how to read an offense, period. He doesn't know how to step into the pocket. There's a lot of issues that Shador has. And I will tell you this, if you put him on a team like Pittsburgh who cannot, and Mike Tomlin has never, ever, ever, ever been able to develop a quarterback, I'm trying to figure out how that's going to work. But, my thought process is when I look at the whole – right now it's Mason Rudolph. I don't think Rodgers is going there. I think Rodgers is going to retire.
I think it depends on how the draft
He would have
goes.
went there already if he was fine with it. He would have went there.
I think it depends how the draft goes. Pittsburgh might come away and be like, you know what? Yeah, we need Rodgers.
I mean, the last time they offered him the contract already. It was a good deal. He still hasn't done anything. The last time Tomlin talked big about a quarterback was Kenny Pickett. How did that go? Super Bowl winner Kenny Pickett.
Thank you. Put some respect on that name.
Right. But the surprises tonight, I'm not so sure. I think this is actually going to be a draft where teams might try to trade for picks for next year. That's like, is there a can't miss guy in this draft that you feel?
Carter.
I mean, other than Carter, is there like a guy like I don't even know.
Like how confident are you with the quarterback class?
Oh, please. This is one of the oh God. Don't even get me started. This to me. First off, if Cam Ward was in the draft last year, Cam Ward's probably the 4th QB taken last year. That's the reality of the situation that we're in. But the thought process is the tight ends are going to have to take somebody because they don't have they do. They have Will Levis, but they don't want Will Levis. And really, when it comes down to it, this regime did not draft. Remember, this regime was not the one that picked Will Levis. So
No, that regime is now in New England.
Like there's a rumor here now, like from the New York Post saying that Alvin Gentry, that the Bears are going to take Alvin Gentry. How are they going to get him? They're
going to trade with the Giants.
Is there a trade that I missed?
They're going to trade with the Giants.
Was there a trade that I missed? How are they getting him?
Probably would have to be a trade.
What are they going to trade?
They're going to trade the what is it, the 8th or 10th pick?
10th.
That's what they're going to trade.
I mean, what are you going to trade though?
So
it's funny. Roto World Football has the Bears, Raiders, Cowboys, and a question mark for which team is going to draft Gentry. They don't even have the team that's favorite together right now, which is the Jaguars.
Well, also too, there's rumors that the Jags are trying to trade up from the number 5 pick.
Don't say Travis there.
Jeff P. or Jeff
from
the Athletic.
You're going to ruin that kid. That kid's going to be thrown. Well, I mean, Brian Thomas was good last year. You see how that Duval sound? Duval. That guy's a motivator.
He's ready.
You know what? Instead of running through a brick wall for him, you know what I want to run through? The Long Island Expressway and get the hell out of there.
Don't worry, at least it's not Brian Kelly with a southern accent.
It's a great day to be a Tiger. Wait, where did that come out of left field? He's from New Jersey, dude. Yeah, he ruined that school. But nevertheless, this should be an interesting evening. I really hope it goes fast and smooth.
There's a lot of talks that Jackson Dart is gonna.
Jackson Dart's possibly going to the Saints maybe at 9. Listen, we all thought Denver reached on Bo Nix last year. Speedy, you said it. Yeah. I was one of those that did not agree with you. I said I like Bo Nix. I think he could be. My rankings last year was what? Daniels, I had what? Nix second?
You had Penix 1, I know that.
All right, Penix 1,
Yep.
Daniels 2, Nix 3. And I still like Michael Penix, by the way. Not his fault, dude. He's got, what's his name, as the head coach in Atlanta? Raheem Morris, his second go around. One wasn't enough. We needed 2 times. But, I had Bo Nix as the third quarterback on that list behind. I had Daniels 1, Penix. No, Daniels 1, Penix 2. Then Nix
I could have
3.
remembered Penix 1 for some reason.
I love Michael Penix, though.
And according to Albert Breer, Broncos, Steelers, Packers, Vikings, Rams, Lions, Chiefs, Eagles all explored trading down. Those teams make sense too.
Were the Jets on the list or no?
No. If the Steelers trade down, that makes it a little easier for Cleveland to trade up if they do want to go with the Sanders route, right? And then you look at the 2026 draft and some notable players. That could be a lot more intriguing than the current draft, too.
I'm just trying to look up
Excuse me.
any rumors or anything.
See, I would not be surprised if Sanders does not get drafted in the first round. That would not surprise me. I would not be surprised if Jalen Milroe gets drafted before him. I'll come out and say that. Would not surprise me.
He's got a lot of Giants links.
Well,
apparently the Giants are also trying to acquire a second first-round pick.
Whoa! Breaking news, Speedy.
Intriguing.
Who are they? Maybe they'll take Shador.
Oh God.
That ruined that motive. That ruined that happiness so fast.
Wow.
That ruined that fast. Sorry.
Also, apparently the Browns are listening to offers for the number 2 pick. But Josh, we didn't talk about? We talked about Jinty, we talked about ETN, right? We didn't talk about Breece Hall.
No, the rumors that are going on, Breece Hall could be traded.
Now,
honestly, when you've looked at him in the last 2 years,
I hate to say it again, but if Breece Hall becomes available, and I don't even want to say it out loud, how do the Cowboys not pounce on that?
I agree. Give me a second round pick.
Boom. That could fit all of the things that we're hearing, right?
He's been on the decline the last 2 years, so if you really want to go that route, that's fine. But I mean,
better than anything Dallas has on the current roster.
I mean, he was extremely disappointing last year, Hall.
Yes,
he was supposed to be it was supposed to be one of the best running backs in football.
But I also wonder if you really can't take the Jets' offense last year because of everything too, right? Like how much can you say? Oh, it was because of this guy. It was because of this guy. Like Garrett Wilson is a lot better than what last year showed, right? Breece Hall, I think, is a lot better than what last year showed. You know what I mean? Like those are the kind of.
What are you talking about? Jeff Ulbrich was a great head coach last year. What do you mean?
Robert Saleh was actually. But we don't have to go down that route.
I thought they were hand in hand. I mean, it was like watching poetry in motion.
You know what? And Nathaniel Hackett.
Oh, forget it.
What's he doing? Yes, right there.
Where is Hackett anyway? Anybody know where he is?
He's waiting for Rodgers to sign.
Probably. Where is he now, Hackett? No. Aaron Rodgers said he's a massive fan of Arthur Smith. I love it. I love it.
There we go. You know what? I
What
don't
is
know,
it
Josh.
doing now? I mean,
We're talking about all these off-season moves, the draft, everything. You know what? It reminds me of another team that made a big off-season move, and I'm pretty sure they have one of the best records in baseball right now. That's your Mets. How are we feeling about the Mets?
I know you're trying to do a seg.
How was that? That's pretty good. Not bad? Yeah, it was okay.
No, listen, they're playing great. It's April. I mean, but they're playing great baseball right now. I've said time and time again, I think the pitching lab thing that they have is, I just think having Griffin Canning be a plausible starting pitcher alone is impressive in itself. But they're playing great baseball right now, and they're playing fundamentally sound baseball. And I think,
who's heating up now, earlier than normal?
Oh yeah, well Lindor's been great.
Alonso.
I mean, Alonso's been good. I think the key is what David Stearns did was, and I think you're going to see a lot more teams doing this too. Take the emphasis off the starting pitching, invested more into multiple inning relievers, and starters just go 5 innings.
So you're talking about some bulk guys, basically, right?
Yeah, the Mets have 4 guys: Budo, Brazaban, Kranick, and I'm missing one. Speedy, I'm missing another reliever. I said Kranick, Budo, Brazaban, and there's a 4th one that goes multiple innings. I can't remember his name.
Edwin Diaz.
No. Oh, no. Danny Young. No. Oh. Hold on a minute. Who is it?
This is great.
Hold on.
Brian Stanek.
No, I said that one already.
All right.
Let me see. Oh, Reed Garrett.
Reed Garrett.
Yeah.
Now, Josh,
So they have 4 guys that could go multiple innings with that team, and I think that's why you're not investing. I mean, look at what he invested in the pitching. He signed Minter, right? So he did that. Brought Static back, but Buda was already here. He brought in Kranick. We're traded for Brazaban at the deadline last year with the Marlins, who's had a good career actually. He just struggled coming over with the Mets, but he's had a good career, Brazaban. Like, these are just guys that if you could go 5 innings, that's considered a quality start now. That's just the route.
But it's not. It's still 6-3, Josh. Officially.
No. I know it's officially, but I'm saying a quality start would be 5 innings. That's what it is now.
I mean, think about it. Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes had a great April, no?
Oh, well. I don't see.
Clay Holmes had a pretty good April. But my worry, think about it. This is April. My worry is innings limit for Clay Holmes. You get to the midway and towards the tail end of the season, how's his arm going to do? Right? He hasn't been stretched out like this for a full season. Obviously, you're going to see limitations. You're going to see stuff that's going to happen later on in the season, right? You know, it's happened with all pitchers, right? Garrett Crochet last year. We saw with Paul Skeens, the way that the Pittsburgh really slowed him before he started with everybody else. You know, it's really going to be. I'm curious to see post-trade deadline how the Mets staff looks right now, pitching wise. April, everything looks great right now.
You know what guy that I think they could bring in that they could definitely fix? And I finally we got his name pronunciation correct. Sandy Alcantara. Everybody for the longest time, it's Alcantara.
Marlins going to trade to the Mets.
Why the Marlins trade us Carlos Delgado and Paul Why and Mike Piazza? Why not? You think Sandy Alcantara is going to distract them from doing anything? But I think the bigger thing too is that I that have filled in for them. Luis Torrens has been fabulous for them.
Hey, you get Alvarez coming back.
That was great. That was the
McNeil.
He wrote the Marlins make the New York Giants look like a well-run organization. You're right. The greatest $400K ever spent. $400,000 for Luis Torrens. It's the best. And then you have Acuna starting to hit well. Beatty hit a home run yesterday off Wheeler, hit a bomb off of Wheeler.
Now with Acuna though, with Jeff McNeil coming back, do you see some limitations on playing time for Acuna?
No, I think the one thing I will say about Mendoza, and he showed this in the postseason last year, he's going to ride the guys that are the hottest hand. That's just what he's going to do. Like, Iglesias was a huge part of that team last year, but Iglesias struggled in the playoffs, and he played McNeil at times. Like, he's going to do that. Mendoza's going to do what's best for the lineup. And, the thing is, McNeil's been getting reps in center field. The biggest thing that I'm following along with him is Drew Gilbert, the center field prospect for the Mets in AAA, who's crushing it again. He had a really bad year last year because of his hamstring issue that he had, and he's completely healthy, and he's back to hitting over, I think, 300 in the minors again, playing good defense. That is the key cog, I think, that for when Siri is out, that I think they're going to bring up Gilbert at some point and let him take the reins in center field and let him go there. He's got a cannon of an arm. The question's going to be, can he cover the ground?
Well, he's going to have to cover a lot of ground next to Soto, no?
Soto and Nimmo. Well, Nimmo could try to play defensively, but the key part is with Gilbert. It's a matter of the production you have to get. They're getting next to nothing at center field right now with Taylor. And we knew that, right? Taylor's a fourth outfielder. It's just what he is. He's a good fourth outfielder. He's a fourth outfielder. And when Siri got hurt, it crushed them because of the speed and the defense. But they haven't missed a beat since then. Like I said, the Torrens one, they're getting Alvarez back this weekend. But Mendoza already said it. Mendoza said it. They asked him about Alvarez coming back. He said, I'm going to play who I think deserves to be in the lineup. And if that means they're each going to catch 3 or 4 times a week and do it that route. Because the one good thing about both Alvarez and Torrens, they both can catch the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good thing. They can catch the rotation. They're good pitch framers. Alvarez, I think, was top 5 in the league for last year in pitch framing. You know how Torrens is defensively with his arm. So it's a nice problem to have.
Yes,
and everything like that. Obviously, Kozar is probably going to get sent down. So he'll be done. It's a matter of who's going to get sent down next. Is it going to be Beatty or is it going to be Acuna? I'm feeling it's going to be Beatty is my thought. But Beatty's also played well defensively too, which is crazy how much better he's gotten defensively. Even at second base. That pick that he made yesterday was incredible on the throw from Lindor. Listen, it's April. I'm happy where things are. I said this
last April.
I said this. Oh, last April was awful. I said this before, and I said this again, and I'll say it again. This is the first time, as a Met fan in my lifetime, where I believe there's continuity and brains from the owner, from the front office, and from the manager of the ball club. And when you put those 3 together, it will lead you to success.
That's hard to argue.
Okay? That's the reality. And the crazy thing about, again, the starting pitching is they're doing this without Manaea and Montas. Like, they're doing it without those 2. That's the crazy thing. Peterson's still doing well. We know Senga's lights out right now.
You know who I think could really be the number 2 for the Mets?
Who?
Like I was looking into this. I was diving deep. People are going to say McGill. No, you know who I think could really be the solid 2? for the Mets? David Peterson.
Arrow likes David Peterson a lot.
Like he took a step up last year from the previous year and had his ceiling kind of grow. He's a better pitcher this year than he was last year.
I agree. I think it's Speedy. You watch a lot of Met games too. I think it's the third time through the order for Peterson he still has to get through. Like so far this year, we've
But
seen
it's been a lot better.
We've seen Senga get through it, and we've seen McGill get through it. He's the guy, and Holmes too to an extent. But Holmes has been. I mean, Holmes is striking. I think Holmes is like 7 strikeouts a game at this point.
But it's the longevity game with Holmes that worries me.
But that's why you work these guys up to be starting pitchers, right? I mean, these guys come up as starters. You know what I mean?
Right,
like that.
Right. That's fine. If he goes 5 each time, cool. I want to see how he is post All-Star break, the heat of the run. You know, he hasn't pitched. Think about it. He's been with the Yankees for the past 3+ years. He hasn't pitched as many innings as a starter has in quite a few years. That takes time to build your arm back up.
Of course.
Do you think he goes over or under 150 innings? 160, we'll say.
I think 150 would be a nice mark.
That's what I'm saying. That probably takes you 5 innings, right? 150. It's about.
I think the nice thing about
the All-Star game.
I think the nice thing about Holmes is if you've seen him every start, he's actually gotten more consistently better as each start. Like he hasn't gotten worse. Like he hasn't gone from 4 to 3 to 2 innings. It's gone to 2 innings to now 4 innings to 5, and he's getting it. He got to I think the 7th inning or something or 6th inning in his last start. He's progressively. It's the progression of it getting better.
Correct. I'm saying for a full season though.
Yeah, but you build these guys.
He's built up to pitch 5+ innings, fine. But how long in a full season can he do it?
I mean, listen, he was also a starter on Pittsburgh for years.
Right, but how many years has he not been a starter though?
But that's the thing though. You could easily just build these guys up. It's not. I don't think it's a very. It's a conversation that we're not going to have the final result until the end of the year.
Correct.
But I think now is what you're getting. You are starting to see it more though, as each start goes.
Correct. Perfect example. I think Jordan Hicks from San Francisco. Right, was their closer for a while. They changed him to be a starter. You know, at first was kind of like. Okay, he's learning how to be a starter, but the longevity of a full season caught up to him for a little bit, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's the difference too, though. Now, when Mania comes back, you're going to switch to a 6-man rotation.
Correct.
So now it's longer.
You get Montas back too.
Yeah. Well, then they would move Canning to the bullpen. Once that happens, Canning would get moved to the bullpen. But the thing is it's different now with the 6-man rotation because now you're getting the extra day of rest, so you're able to actually prep your arm up more and strengthen your arm up more than it was a regular 5 days rest. You're getting an extra day, which goes miles. Correct. You know Absolutely. What I mean? So there is a plan in place for this to be successful. But yeah, listen. So I don't want to say anything. I'm not used to this in April. I'm used to it being a disaster in April.
I know we're gonna have to mark this down because, you know what, I as long as I've known you, I've never seen you as ecstatic for a Mets team, right? It's always they're good now, but they're gonna break my heart later, and I don't know. I'm sensing you don't have that. You know, I
don't because I think the foundation is in place. Speedy, would you agree? I think this is the best foundation this organization has had in forever.
Yeah, more modern concept you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. It's not even close. I mean, you have the owner who knows what he's doing. You have the front office; they know what they're doing, and you have the manager who knows what he's doing. And you bring those 3 things together, and it builds success. Correct. And I think this is the vision that what Cohen was talking about. It has to be long-term sustainable success. And
I'm just glad to see you root for a team with orange and blue from New York doing well. Because as confident as I think you are with the Mets,
no,
I don't feel the same confident level that you have with the New York Knicks.
I actually think, my opinion, this is going to be crazy. I could see them losing this series. I could see it in 6 games. And if that happens, and just so we're all aware, this is the first time, since he's been here, that Jalen Brunson is taking heat from the fan base.
Is it though?
100%. Absolutely.
I'm sure he caught some heat last year too
No, he
during the
didn't.
regular season.
No, he didn't.
He has to play better. He has to play better.
Oh, he did.
No?
That was for a couple of games. I'm talking like everybody is he's getting the full blame for that loss in game 2.
And
Other
do you
than
know Jalen Brunson well? Do you honestly think he's not going to respond in a big way?
I don't know. I'm not sure because I got to see how Detroit is. They're going to be wired up. It's the first ever playoff game at the Little Caesars Arena for them. You wanted to Detroit overplay tonight.
I tell you what, if the Knicks go down 2-1, I'm not worried.
So are you banking on not losing tonight? Like, is that what it?
No, but I'm saying if
You're
they go
saying,
down,
are they going to be? If they're down 2-1, I will not be worried. Are you saying they're going to lose the game tonight?
you're making it sound like they're going to lose and be out of everything. I'm saying
I have no faith in them because the thing is, but this is a team all season when we look at it, right? And we divulge into the whole concept of where they are. From Josh Hart, we have to stop being selfish. To Mikal Bridges about the minute. To Harden Thibodeau fighting on the bench. To Mitchell Robinson doing his stupid stuff that he does on Twitter or whatever it's called. This whole year, this team has just been a very wacky, weird 51-win team that I sit back and I say, God, they had 51-31. They're a 3 seed. That's fantastic. That's an unbelievable season for this team. But then it's like, okay, but they also went 0-8 against the 3 best teams in the league. And then there's also problems with the thing.
There's one gigantic thing they're missing. That's the tough guy brute. I think that's why they tried to bring in PJ Tucker to help fill that void. But think about it. Randall was that guy. DiVincenzo had a mean streak to him.
I don't even think it was Randall. It was DiVincenzo. And honestly, it's Hartenstein. They miss Isaiah Hartenstein. They have not been able to replace the interior defense, the rebounding ability, that floating shot that he does. His passing ability for a big man is unbelievable. For the
almost Jokic levels, not quite.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I mean, he's smiling at that. Speedy's like shaking his head no.
Speedy was a joke.
No, but I actually think Hartenstein was the missing piece for the Thunder, as I think what he was for the Knicks, and the Knicks didn't replace him. Now it's not the Knicks' fault. It's the NBA has the stupidest cap rules I've ever heard of in my life. It's the dumbest rules. Like they can't offer him this amount of money because he played for them last year.
Yep.
It just doesn't make sense. And they never were able to replace him. They couldn't replace him, and they didn't find it. Like Achua's nowhere even near close. He doesn't even play Achua, so it doesn't even matter.
No.
So it's to me, Hartenstein's the guy that they miss.
But that's what I'm saying. They're missing that tenacity. They're missing that tough guy, bully ball type of player. They don't have that, right? You also brought in Bridges. Bridges is supposed to be your
so much.
I'm going to shoot the 3 and I'm going to defend the 3, right?
He didn't do either one.
Exactly, right?
And,
so that's a little thing.
And
you need someone besides Brunson to score, right?
And
Towns is getting doubled. It's tough to give it to Towns because he's getting doubled all the time.
Double time,
right? I know, but I'm saying, who is the next guy who can take over the game for the Knicks?
You're the head coach of the team. Jokic gets double teamed. Kawhi gets double teamed. Guys get double teamed all the time. Giannis gets double teamed.
SGA.
Go be a head coach and go draw up a play and strategize. Boy, he's getting double teamed. Well, how can we get him out of that? Maybe do a set pick. Maybe put Mitchell Robinson in the game and move Towns to the 4. That would be a brilliant idea. We could certainly do it because guess what? Towns played with Gobert last year in Minnesota, and they went to the conference final last year. That would be a brilliant idea.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. It
baffles me. Hasn't changed the starting lineup all season.
Seems so obvious. Yep.
He's stubborn. He hasn't.
Think about it. If you do that, how is Detroit stopping that? They're gonna have Jalen Duran.
Nobody. They don't have the size to stop those two, and they won't do it. They won't do it.
Josh, you know what that could have been? That almost sounded like it could have been you're better than that. You know, we were kind of ranting about the Knicks being better than that.
It is time for you better than that because we got to let the boys at Job in the Mouth take over in a couple minutes.
That's right. So you know what, Josh? Why don't you go first? Go for it.
My better than that is I'm gonna bring it up right now, and it's the networks for the NHL. They're not sending the announcers to the games, and they're making them watch it on monitors. For whatever reason, that's the case. I don't know why they're doing this or what the problem is, but it makes no sense to me why you're not sending those guys to the arena to go do these games. And it makes no sense, and it drives me nuts. That's number one. Number two, why are the Thunder and who are the Thunder playing again? I don't even remember who they're playing. Memphis on TNT tonight, but they have the Clippers Nuggets on NBA TV. What? Why? Think about that. That makes no sense to me. It doesn't add up. The ratings are the ratings. Now the ratings they're going to get killed anyway tonight because of the NFL draft. They're going to get crushed. But put the better game on. So NHL, NBA, you are better than that.
Now, Josh, are you sitting down for this one?
I think so.
Because one, I'm getting ready to talk hockey.
What?
I know. That's what I'm asking. Are you sitting down for this? Two, I'm getting ready to talk hockey and a Rangers team.
Oh God.
And three, I could maybe I'm wrong on this one, and I'm the minority on this one on the opinion. You just missed the playoffs after everyone who's a Rangers fan will say is a terrible season. And what's the first thing you do is you sign Chris Drury to an extension.
Good for James Dolan, idiot.
How? Come on. Come on. That's the first thing you do? Yep. RG, it's not his fault. We put the team together.
He's not just the GM, Erik. He's also the president of hockey operations. Come on. He runs the whole shebang.
Come on. You're better than that. Were you surprised at mine, Josh?
I was the surprise one. I like that one.
Sometimes it was for your birthday. I had to pull one out,
and
that really said happy birthday.
Speedy's got one. Speedy, go. We always let you have one, Speedy.
Speedy, let's go. What do we got, bud?
I did want to mention to you, Josh, as also for your birthday, I actually did watch a little bit of the WrestleMania.
Oh, snap!
And I'll almost say just bringing out that singer, the Travis Scott, I think.
Travis Scott! You got it,
was just really weird.
That was random.
He did his homework. Speedy.
I did for you. Just for your birthday. Just for your birthday, Josh.
Yeah, that WrestleMania ending was garbage.
Wow. Were you surprised?
Oh, man, you're better than that. Look at Speedy. Travis Scott, you're better than that. It was garbage. He didn't like it.
It was weird.
It was weird.
Look at all this mystery. You had no idea Speedy or me pulling these out tonight. Unbelievable. Happy birthday to you.
I was surprised. I did like that one. Well, check us out on worldwidesportsrare.com, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Job in the Mouth has their TikTok, YouTube page as well, and so much more. Check us out every single Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, you can check out Jabba and the Mouth every week as well. They'll be having their draft show coming up in a couple of minutes. So that should be a lot of fun and exciting. Of course, that's when chaos ensues and everything of that nature. That's when I hit the deck and I leave the room. I go to a safe space. That's what I call it. Because here's the thing. I know now remember when we used to do the Oak Show, I was in that one of those draft shows. Thank you. I mean, it was, I would say 9 or 10 screens were popping up, and I said, I don't even know if I'm even here anymore.
Yeah, that was probably our first post-draft.
I was just like, but listen, it's gonna be like Buffalo Wild Wings in here in about a half an hour, so it'll be good. Good stuff. Can't wait. We're gonna check it out. It's gonna be awesome for the guys to do and everything like that. Break everything down. We'll see who pops on. I am gonna go home and celebrate my birthday now with my wife and my 2 kids, and have fun and do all that.
I'll meet you there.
Yeah, man. Erik, any last thoughts before we go?
I was gonna say all these fun stuff, but I think it's only right to wish you a happy birthday again.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you, as a co-host, as a friend, but as family too, brother. So thank you. Who would have known our time in Plattsburgh, New York would have really solidified to what we are now.
Well,
cheers
thank
to you, brother. Cheers to
another. How many more years were you going to say? How many more years were you going to say?
I was going to say 30.
Oh, great.
You know what I mean? I like it.
Well, I want to say thank you to the people here at the network who remember my birthday.
I'm surprised it wasn't any better than that.
Should have been.
I recommended it.
Should have been. Should have been. But I drove here. I drove up here. I thought I saw a fireman outside the studio. But anyway, we're gonna let the guys take over. Speedy, any last thoughts before you go?
Yes, also, it's the same thing. Have a
Thank
wonderful rest of your rest of your birthday.
Thank you. The Jets will ruin it, but yes, thank you.
Can't wait to text you about it.
About Brick Johnson, I see.
Listen, either Member or Warren. That's it. Don't go crazy. Don't overthink it. All right. So the guys are going to take over for Speedy PD. For Erik Bowe, I'm Josh Silberg. Thank you so much for listening and watching us here tonight on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. This is Game On. Enjoy the NFL Draft tonight. Enjoy all the playoffs. We'll talk to you next week.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.